I hope though you had a great Paryushan and we must have been spiritually uplifted during this time and all this Paryushan and Das Lakshana time. Okay, we'll have a proper Aradhana, Sadhana, and with the knowledge what we are collectively receiving. All right, we are properly reflecting and uplifting our soul. Okay, based on the wishing that one, we will start where we left the last time. And let me share the things now and share my content and share the browsers. Okay, and just a minute now.
And if you have any questions regarding Jain Aagams, you can always type in the chat box and we will take those questions at the end of the session when Pravin Uncle finishes his presentation.
Right. Okay, so what we have done, and since there is a 3-4 weeks passed by in between now, okay, at least I think 3 weeks. So what I want to do is just refresh the things what we covered last time quickly, and then we will continue it. Okay. So in Jain literatures, there are many things are included in it. Like we got more things known like Agam literature or scripture, whatever the words you want to use. Agam literature or scripture. But in Jainism, like any other religion, it is not only the scripture status are included in the Jain Agam literature, but there are many commentaries written by acharyas are also included part of the scripture. And that is the things you have to keep in mind. It is not like only Mahavir Swani and Ganadhar, his immediate disciples, compiled in a sutra forms. Okay, that's a definition, but that's not the reality. The reality is there are many things are included in it, not his immediate disciple, but later on acharyas, after 200 years, 300 years, all these literatures are included now in the Jain Agam literature. So sometimes people get carried away. This is it. This is the Mahabhiswani. You have to use your wisdom when you start reading the Jain Agam literature and make sure there are certain basic principles never violates. Okay? If it is been violated, then our understanding is wrong. Don't think in that term that is the right things. Okay? Why I am saying that one is because the literature has been compiled and written after Mahavir's Nirvana, all the way up to 980 years. Okay, many literatures are being included in the Agam literature, and we got to be using our own wisdom when we read the scriptures. Okay, now we got to just to give you the things we are going to cover, like definition, the classification, what are the listing of sutras or Agam sutras, summary of Agams by Jain sects, history and preservation, okay, Agam substitute literature of Digambars, authors of the Agam literature, and so on and so forth. Agam sutras based on the 14 Purvas And then there are many acharyas also written commentaries, and there are 4 types of commentary. Okay, one commentary is called Niryukti, one type of the commentary. Okay, then Bhashya, that is another name. It is written later on. Old commentaries are the Niryukti, which is written in the Prakrut form, but in the poetry form, Niryukti, so that people can memorize it easily. Okay. The Bhashya is also Prakrut form, but poetry and prose mixed, and mostly the post, like a text matter. Then there is a Churni, that's where the Sanskrit commentaries are started, included, and the Tika. Okay, and Tika has been written by many, many acharyas. So when we'll talk about that Niryukti type commentaries, Bhashya, Churni, and Tika, we will go through it that way. And so Mool Sutra, the commentary on these Agams, and then we come to non-Agam Jain literature, but it is still, we respect those literature like Agam literature. Okay, so, and some of the most popular Jain authors who has compiled significant amount of literature, so we will also review them, all these various acharyas and that one. So you will have kind of a overview of the Jain literature, and you can see Jainacharyas have done significant amount of work in the different areas. Okay, so that's the kind of the at least overview what I would like to do. All right, now just a minute. Okay, here it is the Jain Agam definition. What is scripture? Jain scripture. Somebody asked the question, how do you define Jain scripture? Because when Mahavira was there, nothing was compiled. He delivered the sermons, 2 times a day, according to certain acharya's view, or 3 times a day, according to some other acharya's view. But it doesn't matter. It is him delivering every day, like either 2 times or 3 times. And significant people got the benefit of his sermons. Okay? And they said from absolute point of view, means in a true sense, it is called only reader's point of view or listener's point of view. If somebody listens to it or somebody reads it, of course, at that time there was no reader. It's only people were there to listen the sermons. Okay, but after listening, if their life, spiritual life, is enhances, they find happiness not from the outside source, but within your own, from inside, you find the happiness. It means if your greed is reduced, anger is reduced, lust, ego, everything is reduced, then it is called Jain Agam literature. Whatever you understood, whatever you have reflect, you find more satisfying life. Okay, you find something worthwhile living instead of depressions or anything else. Okay, if your greed is reduced, if you become more satisfactory in nature, all right? And you are finding the happiness within, then whatever you are doing at that time, that what it happened, happiness within or enhance your spirit, that is all Jain Agam literature. That is all Mahavir Vani. Okay? So if you notice it, Jain Agam defines that way. It is not what you are reading words wide. After you reflecting on that wording, and if this thing happens, then it is a Jainagam literature. But that does not create a society, because society needs certain guidelines, certain rules and regulation. So there is another definition, okay, from the Acharya point of view, or from whoever is delivering the sermons, from that point of view, or author, speaker, Acharya, whatever the words you want to use. And what they are saying, the teachings of Jaina or Apt, Tirthankar, Arhant, Arihant, all these words, who has conquered attachment and aversion. If a person who is a completely spiritual person, all one, he has conquered attachment and aversion. That person's teaching, it is called Agam. So for us, the last Tirthankar Mahavira and Mahavira's teaching, this teaching got compiled after Mahavira's Nirvana into the sutra form, and those sutras are considered Agam. Now, here you are giving the importance to the sutra, while the real definition giving the importance to your spiritual progress. If you listen same sutra by two people, one person spiritual progress does not occur, other person's occurs. Okay, so for the person where the spiritual progress occurs, for him that is Agam. But for the person who hasn't progressed anything after listening or reading the scripture, then for him that particular reading matter is not a Agam. That is from the absolute definition point of view, or from the listening point of view, because for him, he has wasted the time. He hasn't progressed spiritually, while the other person did. So you got to keep that thing in mind, that whenever you read any religious matter, make sure you know the meaning of it, and you with that meaning you progress spiritually. Okay, that is the important thing, and that thing only possible if you know the meaning of these sutras. All right. So without meaning, knowing meaning, if you are just reading it, all right, and not understanding it, what is being said, then Jain literature even says, then it is the waste. Period. Okay. Gnan is the most important thing in Jainism. All right. We did discuss this thing little bit the first time. All right. So I'm just going to repeat and go continue. Now, which language the Agam Sutra is? The language is Ardhamagdi Prakrit language. This is the complete name I'm giving you. It is the Ardhamagdi is a one type of the Prakrit language. Okay, there is another type of the Prakrit language is a Pali. Pali Prakrit is, that's where that language is used like Buddhist literature. Buddhist literature, old Buddhist literature is Pali Prakrit, while old Jain literature is in Ardhamagdi Prakrit. These are the different forms of the in South. There is a third form of the Prakrit language is called Sursuni Prakrit, and that where our Digambar literature, Digambar Jain literature is compiled. Okay, so these are the kind of the various forms, but Ardhamagdi language is between 400 to 100 BC, and then after that, Jain Maharashtri, Prachin Jain Maharashtri language came to existence, and that is between 100 to 500 AD. And after that, more work is being done in Sanskrit. And later on, lot later on, like Hindi and Gujaratis and Kannada and all other languages, Jain literature has been written and developed. Okay. Now, Jain sect and Jain literature go hand in hand. Okay. So we discussed that things at that time. The Jain sect, there are two major sects, Digambar and Svetambar. And then after 1400 or 1400 AD, different subsect. Up to that point, that's the two major sects existed. Okay. What I mean by that, like for all practical purpose, you can say at least first 1900 or 2000 years after Mahavir's Nirvana, there were two major sects, and there are some other sect proliferated, but then that though these two major survived, let's put it this way. Okay, you got to read the history. There were so many subsect occur, and then their population or their dwindle, and the two majors, Digambar and Svetambar sect, survived for, I would say, first 2000 years in a practical sense, plus or minus 100 years type things. Okay. And each Svetambar and Digambar had like Murti Pujak and non-Murti Pujak. So it is not like that Jainism always believed in Murti Puja or Jainism not believed in Murti Puja. Okay. Both Digambar and Svetambar had both the type of the people. Okay. Murti Pujak and non-Murti Pujak. And then you can just read the chart and say, there are variations in the secondary Jain literature. They are different, but the primary one, it is the same for both Digambar and Svetambar literature, Murti Pujak and non-Murti Pujak. And hence, even though we have so many sects and subsects, but the philosophy, which is the primary literature, it is same in across all Jain for all practical purposes. Some of the minor variation exist. That they are the secondary literature. Okay, so that's the point. And again, Agam literature is also because I told you in the initially Agam literature. Okay, it is but not like right after Mahavir's Nirvana, his disciples wrote one, and then they said now it is over. That's what we preserve. It is not like that. it took finally pen down, means writing. Okay. Initially, everything was memorizing. Now, when it is a memorizing, things as time passes, the memory changes. Okay. People don't, like if it is a written book, then you don't change. Okay. It is that way. But when it is not, it is only oral tradition. And from pass on from guru to disciple, the things change. Okay, things change. And that happened up to 980 years. Things, and then the formal documenting occur. So you can imagine 1,000 years of oral history, literature history. Now Acharya started writing it down, and that's why there is a significant variation you will see in classification and subclassification exist, and we did discuss it previously. But anyway, those things again, these two charts, this and previous one, they are very busy chart, and you need to spend good amount of time on that these two charts to understand the complexity of Jain literature. Okay. Then the next one, when you will see it, is Anga Pravishta Agam, which is the main basic literature. Anga Agam, it's two names, Anga Pravishta Agams or Anga Agam. Popularly now, it is everybody knows like Angagam. They don't tell you really, except in the literature, you will find the word Anga Pravishta Agams. All right? And it is 12 of them. Digambar believe they are all extinct. Sritambar says 11 books are survived. The 12th book is extant, and that one we already discussed it at length during the regular sessions. Okay. And these are the name of the Angagam, all the 12 Angagam, and they are same. Name is the same across all Jains, whether it's Digambar, Svetambar, Slavankwasi, they all believe this one. Only thing is, Digambar believes all these books are extinct, while Svetambar says we have preserved 11 books, not all 12. The 12th one, it is all extinct. But the 11th one, and it is not a complete preservation, okay? But whatever we preserved, it does have the real preaching of Lord Mahavira. So that's why, even though it is not complete, we believe this is the Agam. This is what's our preservation. You got to keep all these ifs and buts. Remember also that it is not 100% we have preserved the Acharang Sutra or Sutra Kutang. It is all the books that what we have preserved is partial. Okay. But because we don't have any other things preserved, we believe, okay, it has preserved the essence of the religion. And that's why we call it Agam, Svetambar. While Digambar says, since we haven't preserved completely, there may be some new things got added or everything. We don't know which one is the original Mahavira or which one is the Acharyas. So we don't want to take a chance in saying that they are all lost. Okay. So it is the same things how you are interpreting. All right. So that's the point. Now this is the 12th Angagam, which has been everybody, all Jains, saying that it is lost. Okay, it is the one of the oldest Jain scripture has been not memorized by any of the acharyas after 160 years of Mahavir's Nirvana. Okay, and but since its description available in the other books, so they pull it out and saying, okay, these are the things that was in the 12th Agam. And we went through at length at that time. Okay, so you can read it. I just wanted to refresh you. Okay, these are the five, you are divided into 5 parts and so forth. All right. Next one is those 5 parts, 5 parikrama karmas, which is Chandra Pragmatis, Surya Pragmatis, Jambudvip Pragmatis. Okay, these are all the 12th Agam contained. Sutra, second part. The third part is the Prathman Yuga, which is the life stories of 63 great leaders, 24 Tirthankars, 12 Chakravartis, 9 Narayans or Vasudevs, 9 Prativasudevs, and 9 Baldevs. Okay, those things are very, very important. And these things are the stories. Okay, and everybody loves the stories. And this is what these things are. All right. So, and the fourth part contains the 14 Purvas, and most of the point, what I'm trying to tell you, the 14 Purvas, which has complete Jain philosophy in detail, every topic by topic by topic. Okay, and I just give you one liner or two liners. That is the case here. The 14 Purva completely covers all our Jain philosophy into it. Okay, so and again, these are all extinct. Okay, is only the descriptions we are presenting it over here. Short summary. All right. And it's like if you notice it, the seventh Purva is Atma Pravad. That's where the philosophy of soul exists. Okay, Gnan Pravad. Now, 8 types of the knowledge: Mati Gnan, Sutta Gnan, Avdi Gnan, Keval Gnan. All these types of the knowledge, and Asti Nasti, all various philosophical aspects of the Jain philosophy. It's all here. And then you can see Karma Prabhat, here where the whole Karma philosophy exists in the 8th Purva. And Pratyakhyan means descriptions of the vows, the penance, any violation, okay, that we have done, like we did in Paryushan and Das Lakshana, okay, that any kind of the violation in our avashyak, okay, we ask, we beg for forgiveness. Okay, that's everything is included in the Pratyakhyan Pravad. Okay, so that's all about it. And the 5 Chulikas, that's a Jal Gata, Sthal Gata, Maya Gata. Okay, this is a special power you acquire by studying, okay, and practicing certain things through meditation. You acquire the special power, and power on a walk on the water, travel to the Mount Meru, Maya Gata, power to perform miracles. All these things you will find so many stories even that acharyas not regularly doing it, but occasionally when they consider it is a need to save the religion from cruel king, that's where they have used it. And preserved our religion so that we got today exposed to our real religion philosophy. All right. And now we are coming